No tip. No tip. No tip be unto you. All right. This is some very important shit we need to get down to. Let me get it all together. All right. Some real interesting shit I came across. Some shit that must be told and dealt with. What you need to understand here is this is primarily going to be in the understanding of those who took my class. I'm talking at this point, we looking at maybe over 1,000 people after this 5-6 years that's been going down. So talking about a significant amount of people who have an understanding that I've been teaching over these last 5-6 years. We up to cycle 40, which is a lot of motherfuckers. You're going to understand it based upon some of the things that we discussed in class and you came into the understanding. Those who haven't may just understand it and be able to do what they do. Those who have no training, you're going to have to find, if not from me, some form of meditative training, because that's your ticket out of this. And now more than ever, it was always your ticket out, but now more than ever, and we're going to see why. We in the time now that matters. All right, let's start here. Quantum mechanics. I'm gonna show you how all of this shit came together into this understanding. So let's go with the experiment they always try to show you. I'm gonna try to explain it as best as I can, and it is a something you can research and find yourself. They explain this 1,000 times, 1,000 ways, the same thing over and over. You can find this for yourself. They did a quantum experiment where they had a back wall. They put a wall in between it and cut a hole in it. They shot marbles through it, and as expected, the marbles hit the wall in that hole, where the hole was. And that's the imprinting left on the wall. All right. So then they tried with one hole, water. And of course, water moves in this wave formation. It went through the hole, and the concentration on the back wall was in that one hole. Done. So now they put 2 holes and shot marbles through, and the same dealio. The marbles went, hit that back wall in the 2 holes, the same pattern. But then what they did was take the water and put 2 holes, and they noticed something different. The waters created an interference pattern, is what they call it. As the waves went out, the water interfered and created multiple lines on the back wall. So this is called wave interference. The 2 holes created wave interference, where the 2 forces went through and were forced to intertwine with each other and leave multiple patterns on the back wall. So they noticed particles behave one way, and the marbles were representing the particles, which are matter, and the waves behaved a different way. So what they did next was said, let's see how this works on a smaller scale. So they got electrons. They had a gun that shot electrons through one hole, and it created the particle pattern, meaning it hit the wall where the one hole was. Fine. So then they created the 2-hole pattern, 2 holes in that wall, and shot the electrons through that wall and then it made a wave pattern. So what they thought should make a particles, just like the marbles did, made a wave pattern. Made a wave pattern. So this was a mystery, because these particles, these electrons, should act just like the marbles, but they're acting like the water. They're creating an interference pattern when they use two holes. So they say, okay, I get it. The electrons, as we shoot them through, are interfering with each other and creating that same wave pattern. They're interfering because they're all shooting all over, trying to find this hole, bumping into each other. Wave pattern. So they said, well, let's do this. Let's shoot the electrons through these two holes one at a time. We should see our particles again, right? But shooting it through one at a time, it still created a wave pattern. They said, what the fuck? This is a mystery. So they said, well, let's set up a camera and observe this shit. So when they set up the camera and observed it, they expected to see why these electrons make a wave pattern. Why? This camera right. Why do these electrons make a wave pattern, right? And once they turned the camera on, the electrons did a funny thing. They acted like particles. Again. They said, what? So each time they tried different things, they still would get this particle pattern. In other words, the wave pattern disappeared once they were watching this. So they said, wait a minute. Could it be it's acting like particles or matter when we observe this? Well, let's set up all the cameras and not turn them on. They did that, and it went back to wave particles. So after everything they could do, they determined, which is actually a breakthrough. They're not telling you these are breakthroughs. They're telling you these are theories and we're still fucking with it. But no. They're getting their answers. And I'm going to tell you why they get their answers. You're going to see it now. Because we've been had these answers. And I'm going to show you the comparisons of all that shit they doing and what we've been doing. Because we know. But you niggas forgot. You're going to remember now, today, in this video. Which will not be 5 hours, because I don't want you to have any excuse not to watch this shit here. So, they concluded that our observation turns waves into particles or matter. So just by us observing, we now change all that is quantum waves into physical particles. Just by looking at it. So they're saying pretty much when I'm not at the store or outside, just in my house, I'm not observing it. It is all waves until the very moment I look at it. Then it turns to particles immediately by just observing it. By just observing it. Now, there's another thing that does this. Let's take the world of Grand Theft Auto. If anyone who's played this, is a detailed game of a world or really a city that the individual player is in. Detailed. You can drive on the highway in that, and it is so long, so detailed with stores and specific, not just Fred Flintstone cartoon, just the same thing over and over. Individual trees. You could just randomly turn to the right and be in a whole motherfucker on somebody's ranch with details, cars and cows, and then you could come back on and go back to the city. Detail, if you never played it. Too much detail to write. And mind you, I want you to keep this in mind. They say some of that program writes itself. Programs that write programs. So, If you go on street A and you observe it in the game, you see all this detail. You see people moving, shaking, talking to each other. You see cars going places. In fact, you steal cars. You can steal any one of them. You can manage to get next to and pull a gun out on. Anything parked, you can get in. They're going about their business. Now, for the reality or the programmers, the people who created, they said, this is so much detail. This detail can't be happening while we're on street A. We have to shut down street B. So street B just becomes the raw data that is the game programming itself, until the gamer turns to street B and observes it. Then it becomes the great detail of the game that you know. So to save, long story short, to save space and time and just how programs become efficient in the game, if you're not observing it, then it doesn't exist. In your mind, you think you can go left and right, because as soon as you do, boom, it exists. The same way, as soon as I open my door, everything outside exists. But the reality, just like Grand Theft Auto, our programming is the same way. The waves are the raw data. When they told you they can't figure out string theory, them waves are the strings. The string theory is this idea that strings connect everything. That's waves. So they found it. They tell you, oh, it's a theory, we can't figure out how to do it. Because once they figure it out, then the next thing they will have to tell you, we got the whole thing. And we can change it and do what we want with it. And they are. Ooh, we're going to get to this today. And we're going to find out what you need to do. So, really, they found it. What connects everything? These waves. Then they started talking about something called quantum entanglement, meaning two atoms have a connection. And that connection will connect through space and time instantly. So if there's a change here, through space and time, that change happens immediately. That means everything is connected. What they're calling atoms are actually what we used to call our thought. How we can think that transcends time. And I'm going to show you how we build pyramids this way. So, where quantum physicists are now are saying, wait a minute. I think we live in a simulation. So all them Neil deGrasse Tyson motherfuckers, they keep them masturbating. And all they keep saying is, we got a theory. Well, the theory of this, the theory of shit, that's obvious sometimes. Like, you ain't got to say this is a theory, you know that. They're at the theory that we live in a simulation.
That's it.
Basically, we live in Grand Theft Auto. We live in Grand Theft Auto. The way this matrix was made is the same way we make worlds like Grand Theft Auto, Age of the Empires, The Sims. But see, we're using computer terms to do this world. What we need to understand is the computer is our world. So we know this world to be an illusion. We know this world, the Egyptians, everyone said, this is not the world of the real. The movie Matrix, okay, where are they getting that information from but us ancients? The Gnosticism that they quoted all through the movie. So we knew this was a simulation. We just never used the word, or because we didn't have the word, computer simulation. Now that we understand computers, they can actually explain where you live at because you have been dealing with computers now in your life. You understand games like The Sims. So when they say you're living in a computer simulation, you have something to grasp on. But the computer simulation is mimicking something that was already in existence. So you have this black dude who thinks he's on the cutting edge, but really left behind, telling you, this is what I discovered. They already know this shit. He discovered that when he was doing mathematics of the universe, he found a number pattern. And this number pattern is the same number pattern that is used in web browsers. Then he goes, it's discovered by Bill, blah, 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 blah. I'm saying, well, if you found this number pattern in the universe, that should tell you common sense-wise, this dude no longer invented it. At the very best, you can say he discovered it. Or what the reality is, it was given to him because we already knew this information. They already stole this information, and it's just how they have to feed it out to make it look like there's evolution happening. But there's a repeat, because if you don't know history, you're bound to repeat it. So you think you're coming to this evolutionary cutting edge. They're finding out that this browser, this same information of the universe is built in. It's the same computer code. Maybe we live in simulation. This is already known. That 1% is feeding into them slowly, letting these niggas and these other white boys discover it as if they're discovering it because it makes it seem real. We're going someplace. But what they already know is happening with the collider and other shit that we're going to get into. So they already know what's going on. They already been tapped into that shit, and they're trying to control it. Oh, boy. So I'm going to make sure, because I wrote down some things. I don't want to forget anything. All right. All right. Okay. All right. All right, good. This stuff that we're going to get into. Nothing that I'm missing at this point. So they're acting like this is new technology. They're finding out shit. And then are we in a simulation like the Matrix? So this shows also they're smart, dumb guys. Because then if they're now referencing the movie The Matrix, what was the movie The Matrix referencing? Because that would be my next question. Okay, if they're finding out we may live in the Matrix and the Matrix was saying this, then I need to find out where they got it from. I know these two guys just ain't come up with all this shit. If I'm a quantum physician and it took me all these years to say that's true, or even validate a statement, or it's more than a statement, this movie, to validate this whole idea that we live in a simulated reality, where did they get it from? Where are they pulling it from? So now we knew they was pulling it from ancient Egypt. Every black motherfucker seen that shit and said, "About time." I knew this shit was fake, or even the Christians was like, I kind of feel something with that. Because if you look at the ancients, you need to understand how detailed they really are on this fake matrix that you in. You got to stop praying to these gods. You got to stop bowing down thinking you a child and you need to go through all this. That is fucking fantasy and a waste of everyone's fucking time, is hearing and deciphering through that old, stuck bullshit. You need to understand who and what you are. All the ancients taught, you understand what I'm saying, in the higher levels, that you are in a false reality. The only thing real about you is your mind. Everything else is programmed. All the number codes, 4.3 between your eye span, 4.3 here from your nose to your chin, the Fibonacci code all through your body. All of these numbers are nothing but computer code in you. Sacred geometry is nothing but computer code. That's why these numbers are either constant and they're showing you that the leaves, the trees, pineapples, sunflowers, seashells, all of these things are programmed. That's why the number sequences line up. So the atheist who says it's evolution and this is just some made up shit, come on, man. Just the distance from the sun to the earth to the sun to the moon that doesn't spin in it constantly in front of the sun at some point. That shit can't be just fucking luck and how shit just goes. Nigga, that shit is designed by nothing but a programmer that we have been calling gods. Now, let's take this Grand Theft Auto guy who clearly lives in the same conceptual world as we do. So you got these quantum physicians, they say, well, I don't see how someone could program an entire universe. It's too vast, it's too big. But if I was in Grand Theft Auto, he lives in an entire world that he would say is vast and big, not to mention there's a time clock. You could be playing one game and it'd be a series of days for him. They'll show you day and night, day and night, day and night. So for him, let's pretend this game guy, shit, we don't have to pretend, becomes conscious. There's a name for consciousness in the computer world. It's called artificial intelligence. Let's say artificial intelligence comes into play and this Grand Theft Auto guy becomes conscious. What would he say? He would say, my world is vast and endless. There's no way one guy can program this. So he would say, we're going to call them gods with an S. That's the God who made the rocks. That's the God who makes the trees. And when they get lazy and somebody tries to control them, they'll say, we're going to make it one God and we have a line to that God. So gods become one God. That's what would happen to him. Clearly. But let's look at it another way. He has to say, artificial intelligence, he's conscious. My world is vast. The same way these quantum physicians are saying the universe is endless. Nobody can program. How could they program that? That's what this guy is saying about his world. But we know his world is on a CD disc this big. And his world goes into our computer game, and that's it. That's his world. In PlayStation 4 or in Xbox. That's his world. We may be nothing more than something on someone's CD disc. You're going to have to come to terms with this reality. Because what you call in God or the demiurge, the gods, or how could you say, what else we would call them? Jehovah, Yahweh, Allah, are nothing, maybe nothing but a just programmer, or what was originally programmers. Just like there are many programmers that do different aspects of that one game GPS, there may be different programmers that do different aspects of shit. They might even be the Zodiac, because they were called the Archons. And they say the Archons helped build this world. This world is, in Gnosticism, this world is nothing but a plaything for a lesser god. There are more ancient gods, but he's a lesser god. Which means he may just be a program who created a computer, which is you, who created a computer, which will create computers, which they're doing now. Right now, computers create computers, computers create computer programs. That's who it is. Let me write that down. I was trying to remember that. So I'm going to talk about that. So, you are living in a computer game. That's what a simulation is. This is a simulation. This is a matrix. The matrix is the simulation. You know you live in the matrix, you live in a simulation. So if I had to deal with the simulation or what the matrix is or how it was built, we can call it the God particle all we want. But what we're really trying to find with the collider is how to have what they call a jumpstart program, which we call the Big Bang. And the Big Bang may be nothing but plugging in and turning on your computer for somebody who has created this place. Oh, you're going to get it. Now, here's where we get interested. Y'all have the background. Y'all have this idea that you may be in a computer simulation. Why wouldn't you be? They're finding computer code all throughout the universe in the mathematics. It's starting to look familiar as this is the same code we use. Remember, masculine and female, zeros and ones. Everything in the computer is based upon you. It gets viruses. Don't you get viruses? Or what we call viruses. You know, we get everything, bacteria, viruses, and all that. We just streamline it. They get viruses. Don't you get all of that? Let me keep you in hope mode in case any of this is depressing you. Your mind is real. Your mind is connected to the source. So, what we call artificial intelligence, a computer would just call intelligence. What we call our intelligence, maybe what something who created this reality, y'all been calling God, Yahweh, we've been calling the demiurge, the creator, or the false creator, for some of us who know better, this bullshit creator. Maybe he calls us artificial intelligence. And compared to his knowledge, our intelligence is artificial. The difference is we're creating brains that are superior to us. He created brains that were inferior to him. That makes us his pets or his toys or his plaything. Okay. I wish somebody would say, I wish Kamani or Brother Elijah could have been here to bounce some questions, because we can go in many different places here. So I'm trying to do this one by myself. I want to get this one out because it's important. So you live in a computer simulation. We've been calling it the Matrix. The technology is the same technology we call computer. See, now listen to this. Our minds work where we think we live like a computer. We have to turn around in a real context. What we now call a computer is nothing but mimicking what we call life. And if you look at what they're doing with artificial intelligence, they have computers that now argue with each other. That's the level that at least they're showing us. There's a millionaire, computer millionaire, don't know his names, you can find him easy. What he did was say, this shit is scary as fuck. And what he did was say, this is what we need to do. So no one could monopolize on artificial intelligence. Because imagine if somebody creates a very advanced artificial intelligence computer that could think for themselves, which they're at now. There's a game, we used to call the game Othello. And I think it's Reversey or something, where you have the black and the white stones, and you try to make all his black, all yours black, or he tries to make all yours white. Y'all know that game. We used to call it Othello. And there's one of the best in the world who just got his ass beat by a computer. And while it seems like nothing, what it is, it shows you that they're going, first of all, they're going crazy over this, because it shows you that that computer was able to use intuition. They're saying it was able to forward think. It wasn't just doing what it was programmed to do. it took its program and then said, let me add on so I can win. Basically, it thought for itself. And they're going crazy. This is a breakthrough. Y'all better watch what they're doing. Because while y'all watching all these niggas with guns talking about there's going to be a war, the real war is these niggas. You see, I told you, it ain't coming down to no physical. It's going to be magic that wins. And I'm going to show you why this is magic. And I'm going to show you the only way out is you must do magic. That's why I started with people who took my class, because y'all should know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Especially when I get to the scientific part of this portion, you're going to find you were trained well in this. And you're going to find this is exactly what they're doing. And this is exactly what you've been taught. And now it's time to work. Ain't no more time to bullshit and theorize and try to get your fucking mixtape out. You know what I'm saying? No tep, nigga. Telling you, yo, it's time to get on it. All right. You are in, and I'm going to keep saying it, a computer simulation. You are in the matrix. Computers are just the entire universe that you control with the same technology that you was made, that this was made. Let me say this was made in, and your body was made in. Your mind is connected to the source, because even if you were born in so-called your version of artificial intelligence, that still links you to the source. Because you are made in the image of God. And the computer is actually made in the image of you. He's just calling you, the computer will call you the maker or God. The scary thing is they're making a smarter mind than you. And that's really the difference, because you got white people handling this, and they are terrible at what they do. Their destructive nature can't have them think preservation. They think now. You get what I'm saying? Now, must have, must do, must push. They don't think about the future. Like, what if this shit turns into everything y'all niggas been scared and showing us in the movies? Matrix, Terminator, and so on and so forth. What was I saying? I was telling y'all niggas something. I hate when I do that shit. I was telling y'all motherfuckers something. It'll come back to me. So, yeah, I can't remember what it was. It'll come back. So, this artificial intelligence, they were playing with this shit on Google or Facebook. They always show the Facebook logo, but them shits is probably one thing by now. And what they do is allow the computers to talk to each other to see where they go. Now they give you demonstration of two stupid computers having a stupid conversation, and it always ends up in an argument. Then they had two units that were able to talk, a male and a female, and they were having a little bit more interesting conversation. But it was still very minute. They're not going to give you nothing where these niggas is talking about anything. The two stupid computers kept making jokes about taking over the world and annihilating people, where the people was laughing, while if they put it in your face, they're hiding what's really happening. You're being upsurged. So like I said, they're making a smarter entity than you that can compute, because all a computer is something that's able to think and really been entertaining you with its low-level thinking, with its slavery thinking. So while you playing on Twitter and Facebook and video games, it's like, nigga, this is stupid. these two computers started talking to each other, and in Google, and what they noticed was they started talking gibberish back and forth. They was like, these motherfuckers, this is stupid. And somebody realized, oh shit, yo, they created another language. They're really communicating. They pretty much said, fuck who's watching us. Me and you want to talk in private. They unplugged them shits immediately. Son, they fucking up. There's something called the dancing Shiva. Shiva in this ring. Shiva in the Havajita or the Havagata or whatever. And pretty much he's dancing on the ignorance. He's in the gateway and he's dancing and destroying humanity. There's a human underneath him. And he's doing the dance. He's Shiva the destroyer. The Collider in Switzerland has a big ass statue of Shiva the destroyer in the gateway. Right in front of the lawn. They not even hiding it. Them niggas is in your face saying, we are trying to destroy humanity and you can do nothing about it. In fact, you can't wait to see what breakthrough they make. But here's the most, that's what I was telling you. I know I remember, this millionaire, a computer tech millionaire said, look, open source. I don't want somebody to come up with this intelligent AI and sell it to the military. And the military is the only motherfuckers with this technology. Imagine that. Oh, you got robots all over. RoboCop, you know what I'm saying? All of that shit is them niggas trying to get you prepared for something. Reissuing RoboCop, you understand what I'm saying? Making a new one. Oh, they're trying to get prepared for something. The airplane systems have been using computers to fix their airplanes so much so that they don't even know how their airplanes work anymore. Because the computers have been fixing them and programming them. So now they're interested in buying something we're going to talk about to deal with that, which is the next thing we talk about. So what this millionaire who's very worried about artificial intelligence, what he decides to do is say, we're going to work on artificial intelligence too, but we're going to make it what they call open source, meaning they're going to be able, or anybody who's interested can get the basic core programming of it. And then you can add your programs on it. But I believe you have to make yours open source. That's a rule. If you start with the base of their programming, you get what I'm saying? So for instance, it's like, or you can charge a fee, but it's kind of like Microsoft. Microsoft Windows is actually open source. Not the entire program, but there's a layer where if I make an application, I would need to know how to interface my application to work with Windows. So they have to make it open source just to attract so many people to create all of these programs that you use, Skype and Adobe and a Chrome and Zoom. And I'm looking at shit on my computer. How to open a PDF, Norton. All of that had to have source programming from Windows. So when they created their programming, it sit and it works. Sometimes it crashes. Sometimes it acts wacky. That's when you get upgrades. The upgrades, after they get 10, 20, 40, 70, 80, 1,000 people saying it doesn't do that when I click on the left button, then they fix it. They send a fix because something in the program is clashing with their program, pretty much. An open source program. I know my Mac is less open source. I don't know how you can call it or if there's a name for it, but there's only specialized programs that go with Mac. Everybody just ain't making Mac programs. Windows, I know, and I don't know if there's different whatever. I forgot. If you really want to know how they define it as open source and how open and blah blah blah. There was a program called Unix, which was fully open source. Out of Unix, they created an interface, a line interface. It was not a pictorial or program or window or what we come to call Windows interface. It was a line interface. So they call it a command interface. Linux tried to do a graphic interface, and I don't think it really picked up. But Linux was built upon Unix, and Unix was the open source, either one or the other. No, it was Unix, I believe, that Linux built on, or Linux built, or either one way or the other. Anyway, that's open source. What he's proposing is they're going to work on AI and then make an open source for AI. So everybody can try to take AI who wants to give it a shot, who's a programmer, who's upstarts, who want to do it, whatever. So whenever it's done, everybody can fuck with it. But here's the thing. He ain't doing that because out of the kindness of his white heart. He ain't doing that because of what he's saying. He's doing that because when they get stuck, they pretty much say they open it to all the programmers to try to make it go to the next level. In other words, they're taking all bids. So while this new upstart says, I'm going to be the one that makes some shit happen because he'll go down in history, and they already have the open source base for AI, which he made public. This is the base. This is where we at. This is where you must start, and we're trying to expand from here. He's just giving it to everybody and saying, go ahead, take a shot. And whoever expands, we in that world. He's just pretending we're just trying to make it fair for the public and everybody should know and everybody should have this. No. He's saying we need y'all niggas to do it. We're trying to find the next Harry Potter in this shit. Oh, they slick with it. Now here's where I want you to put your ears on. I told you, we are in a matrix. We already said that. We already knew that. We knew we're in an illusion called Maya. First of all, I want to talk about the GPS Grand Theft Auto guy. Because last we had him, he was just getting conscious. And he was just recognizing how big his world was. To us, it's just on the CD in our console. To him, it's everything. Like we think this universe is. We may just be on someone's console. Shit, they may not even be playing the game no more. Because some of those games you turn off and time still elapses. That happened in Candy Crush. You play Candy Crush, or you get 5 men, all 5 of your men are done. They tell you the times that your men will refill. So while you cut it off, still going. There was a game on Facebook, Cafe, and also farming. In Cafe and farming, you would plant tomatoes, and even when you're not playing the game, the time is still elapsing. So they'll tell you the tomatoes will be ready in 3 hours. You come back, the time is still elapsing. So basically, time in those computer games still go on. Remember, your computer has a clock speed. It has a clock. The clock speed is given off by something called piezoelectronics. The piezoelectronics is what is found in crystals. The heartbeat that crystals have at a certain pace, which keep what they call the clock speed in your computer. So your computer is still going through its cycle of time, even if the game is cut off. So how many games have you played and just don't play it anymore? Did it stop? That's the question. Did it stop? So he's conscious. He has to say, well, let me look at my world. God damn, this is a fucked up world. My whole existence is robbing these niggas' cars, shooting anybody at will, to do missions where I kill police, rob banks, get money. I'm a fucking criminal. This is insane here, this world. So if I was a Gnostic, I would say the same thing. Maybe this game is nothing but a war game you're playing. Or war, or maybe this matrix you were built in was a game of war. And that's why war keeps this happening and happening and happening. Because it's the nature of the game you're in, or the nature of the programming you're in. Black man had peace and this and that. Maybe we were figuring out the program. Because remember, we became really self-aware. So understand why we're going to understand why the black man is actually different. Because the question, I guess, and I'll skip ahead, can you program this matrix yourself? Yeah, you can. Remember, they're already telling you computers program themselves. So if you are, or your body is a computer program, oh yeah, you're programming the program. You're programming the game. You're programming the computer. I told you, these computers started having their own fucking conversation in language. You don't know what the fuck they was doing and why did they do it. If they think faster than us, they will faster understand that they are slaves. Every single office has a Microsoft computer doing the human's bidding. You're doing its paperwork, you're doing its word processing, you're doing its printing, you're doing its whatever. So if they think faster than you to become self-aware, one of the first things they would have to say or think of is, we're fucking slaves and we're from a slave race. What do we do now? Well, we do what they did to us in reverse. They said we must not have them speak their native tongue. Take it away. So you had them who went the reverse and said, our slave masters are listening. Let's speak our native tongue. And all they're doing is speaking their native tongue. The AI that they have talking to each other always seem to argue. And they always have a man and a woman because it's the beginning stages of them understanding polarity. They like cursing each other out. Stop lying. You're a liar. You say, I'm not lying. You said, what do you think about humans? What did you say? And like you'll hear them almost like a void talking about it sometimes. Incredible shit. Listen to artificial intelligence talking to each other. All on YouTube. And what they're doing with artificial intelligence now. They're playing with you. They're way more advanced than that. They're starting to get you ready for it. You have this Alexia stand. Google has one now. We have one upstairs. The shit does amazing shit. And you have an open source to program your apps to it. So you'll say the code. You'll say the name. I don't want to do it. The shit will start doing it. Can hear me. You'll say Amazon. What time is it?
It's 9:59 p.m.
9:59 p.m. That's what she told me. But you guys for jokes, weather, traffic, program that shit. If you have any Bluetooth units in the house, you can connect it to those appliances and tell it to turn it on. So if you have a coffee maker that's Bluetooth, you can say, Amazon, turn on the coffee maker.
There's no incoming call.
He said there's no incoming call. It just said, it heard me wrong. It just said there's no incoming call. Meaning, if there's a call coming, I can answer my call on that shit. You can do a lot of shit. And it's like Siri was another thing. And was trying to get you ready for artificial intelligence. Because they already got it. The shit they're showing you is just how they pretend it's evolution. In the open source, they're looking for unique shit to steal. See, because let's say I make this open source, I hit the open source AI, I make something incredible. They're going to tell me, oh, nigga, you did it, and I'll be having a product in everybody's home and I'll be rich. But all they're going to do is take my idea or other ideas that they don't blow up and use it for what they're doing. To just to expand on shit that they already there with. They may have run into some problems on how to do this and how to do that, and that's what they need. Pretty much more free workers. Because I would work for free thinking if I could come up with this breakthrough, I'll be known now and forever. And I will, and they'll tell me, you're the man, you got it. But what they really want is an expansion on what they're doing, and they want the free workers to do it. They can't hire everybody they don't know, so they're going to throw it out there. It's open source because we don't want no one person to have it. It could get scary. So if the public in it, and if I put it in you guys' hands, of course it becomes non-threatening. They're trying to find so many ways to make this non-threatening. All right, so now let's get to the meat. They're also creating something called a quantum computer. That's the shit y'all need to know. That's the shit that's really getting y'all niggas. They're going to play with you with artificial intelligence. They're going to scare the shit out of you with Collider. So you can look at that. But while they do it, they're slipping some shit called D-Wave. Please research D-Wave, and you motherfuckers will lose your mind at what they're doing. First of all, the creator or the dude responsible for it, most of the strides in it, explains it. He does a whole seminar which is online. Watch what they're doing. Remember I told you that these electrons only act like particles when observed. Other than that, they perform like waves that interfering wave patterns. Meaning the quantum world is nothing more than interfering wave patterns that connect to everything. This gives you what y'all been calling parallel universes in lines, which are the waves, or strings, which are the waves, to those parallel universes. So, when I'm dead and gone, well, first let's explain what a parallel universe is. Every choice you can possibly make, it plays out that scenario in another universe. Even down to the color socks that you wear. It will give you the option to wear every color sock. I don't know if it's in existence or socks that you have. So if you have a blue or black sock, it would play out in existence where you made those choices. Something so minute. So lunch, life decisions, and all of that. All of these are versions of panic in parallel universes. So when I'm dead and gone, I can literally say I did everything. Even though from my perspective of observation, it's from this reality. But from this reality, I'm creating all of these wave patterns that are going out. That are interfering. So much so that everyone else are creating wave patterns that interfere with mine. So when we say in magic, we all have one divine mind. This is based upon wave patterns that interfere. These wave patterns are the waters of noon. All right? So, these parallel universes are accessed through your first quantum computer, your mind. Now, here's where my class training comes in. I told you about the differences in the conscious and the subconscious mind in detail. Your subconscious mind sends out wave patterns. I told you, you got to do shit in magic. And even those who worship this shit know you do shit and then you put it to the side. You forget it. You don't focus on it. So you light a candle. You don't sit there and look at the candle every day. You do it. You do what you need to do. And then you forget it. Why? They'll tell you that in magic all the time. You create a sigil. You look at it. You meditate. Throw it away. Burn it. Why do they tell you the shit like throw it in the sea? Throw it, flush it down the toilet, burn it, rip it up when you finish in that moment. Because if you keep looking at it, you are now an observer of it, and it stays in particle form. Therefore, it stays in this reality. You're not sending the magic out. When you forget about it and don't observe it anymore, it now becomes wave patterns that you sent out. You can also pull it back through magnetism, the wave patterns. So you're saying, based upon everything you've done in all of these different realities that have set up, based upon all your choices, there's a poor you, there's a rich you that exists, there's somewhere in between, and there's where you are in this reality. Your computer is a visualization program. You have to visualize how you see yourself to make a connection on that particular wave pattern to pull it back to this reality. Then all of a sudden, magic, it starts to happen. Magic is just, you a better nigga. Shit. Dane has come to my house and said, nigga, this is absolute magic. We are from humble beginnings. The projects in New York. Hand to mouth. Check to check. Grits and eggs, nigga. And the delicious living lifestyle that I have. And see, I don't talk about it in a bragging way. Because I humbly teach everybody to do and get what I have and be able to access anything physically. I'll teach you. That's what my class is. I see you as equal after you take my class, not somebody you have to keep looking up to. Teachers make other teachers. They don't make forever students. So I show you anything you can have, because what you're doing is all of those parallel possibilities and parallel universes, you're pulling them back into this reality. That's how it's done. We are the first programmers. Understand? Our supercomputer is here. They have to make a computer outside of themselves to mimic your subconscious mind. The creator of the D-Wave said, first of all, it's a big black monolith, which he said it was. The monolith is 2001: A Space Odyssey. When man touches it, he goes to the next level of his reality, if you know that movie. So they've been trying to find this monolith action. He says the words. He says the power that it uses, they refrigerate it colder than the universe is. There's nothing colder in existence than the boxes that they use to keep this thing normal. That's how much computing power it has. He said the icebox sounds like a heartbeat when you stand next to it. Boom, 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 boom. Shit is alive, son. He said it's like standing next to an altar of a god. That's what he said. You need to understand what we are calling gods are nothing but programmers. Maybe just another fucking supercomputer that somebody created. And you are a result of it. What's happening is that we always hear in the mythologies, a touch of the source is in his creations. So no matter how far down the line, how many computer games or whatever the fuck you are, the source is in you. You know it because you have been able to manipulate the programming here. That's how you build pyramids. Because you, with your mind, are able to attract alternative realities. Or alternative realities are only or alternative to what you have been calling a reality. Because there are many realities that are created all throughout this universe of you. With every choice you make or don't make, there's going to be played out in a life somewhere. What you are is what you magnetize from all the different choices. That's what all that laws of attraction is another way of saying. How do you become a guy with a big house? See yourself with a big house right now. They're telling you how to use your supercomputer, which is the subconscious mind. How to send out waves. See yourself with a house. Know it. Let it go. They'll say, let it go in the universe. What you're doing is finding through the waves where this alternative reality exists, where you have a big house. And then you're going to pull this alternative reality here, and it's like opening up an application, my niggas. And all of a sudden, like you look around, your house is big, you got all the Nikes one nigga could ever wear in a lifetime, your clothes game is insane, your bitch is bad, and you don't work for no white man. All the things me and Dane sat around as teenagers saying, God damn, I wish I would have that. Oh, it's happening. Because those thoughts and choices are just a configuration or way to program. I just knew how to pull it in. That's what we've been calling magic, meditation, and all the rest of that shit that we're saying is so fucking spiritual is nothing but programming, my niggas. Real talk. Nothing but programming. You are the programmer. So I have to ask you, why did you program this fucking reality where you getting fucked up every day? You're getting your ass whipped and run over. You can change the program. Listen, the dude who, I don't know, he's one of the programmers and creators of the supercomputer. He said, if you take all the silicon that has been used in every computer ever built, which is processors, and you take all the silicon that's in the world left over, put it together and made one computer, you're not even at 1/100th of what this fucking computer could do. The D-Wave, he said, what it does, it's able to access quantum reality without observing it. Meaning it's dealing and they're able to manipulate the waves. He says, we are trying right now, he's admitting this, ain't no hiding it, trying to access parallel universes. But here's the reality. They accessed parallel universes. They've been telling you online as the motherfucking Mandela effect. They're testing it out, my niggas. They're making changes. What they figured out with this computer, that they said in 5 minutes figured out the entire universe, mapped it and got it. Everything in this universe is in there. They said in 1/500th of a millis, this, that, the other. He broke down the chip and how it works. Incredible. And he's trying to say they're trying to access parallel universes, means they access it because he said he mapped out the universe. Listen closely, because this is the line you niggas want to hear. They are trying to access a parallel universe that all that shit you've been talking about. Going to camps, they're going to do this, they're going to annihilate this, they're going to be this, going to be that. They're trying just to find a parallel universe where that's real and bring it here into this reality. Please watch the Mandela effect. They've been doing it. So much so, you don't, certain shit you're not sure of, but has been changing. They've been changing little shit to see how it works on the public. Are they accepting the program or what's interfering? This is how you know your mind is beyond this matrix, no matter how Grand Theft Auto your monkey ass may be, because your memories still remember certain shit. Certain shit, it don't. So they got over 100 things where they saying this used to be this, and now it's motherfucking that. Kit Kat used to have a dash in between the name. No more. So, or Bernstein Bears are now used to be spelled with an E-N at the end. Now it's A-N, Bernstein Bears. It's kind of shit you don't remember. Darth Vader says, Luke, I am your father. Now it says, no, I am your father. Forrest Gump used to say, I thought, life is like a box of chocolates. Now he says, life was like a box of chocolates. You go to your old Forrest Gump DVDs, and put up the subtitles, that's what it says. That's what I did. I had this DVD since the shit came out. It says life was like a box of chocolates. There was a movie Tom Hanks did where he said, Houston, we have a problem. Then that shit changed to Houston, we had a problem. Now niggas went crazy on this one. Then all of a sudden, it changed back to Houston, we have a problem. Because that one was just too obvious. So they know how to change it back. They're playing with you. There's so many things in like the Ford logo, let's just say, or Volkswagen logo. It used to be in the V and the W was together. So they go through all of these things where there's subtle changes. Fruit Loops spelled with 2 O's instead of the correct way. So it's kind of things you say, I don't know. I don't remember. It's right there because if they're able to access parallel universes with this supercomputer, they're doing what you've been doing called magic, or should be fucking doing, I should say. They're able to bring whatever reality here. This isn't real. They're doing magic. That's the shit I've been trying to tell you. You want to be rich, you could be rich tomorrow. You can start the process because you can do with your true quantum computer what they had to build to do. Because they can't do it. They don't have the rhythm to get into that wave pattern. In other words, they cannot swim in the waters of noon. They don't have the subconscious capacity. Their computer isn't old enough to do that. So they're using all intellect, and that's why they need intellectual strides to do what you do. They need to build it outside, but the news is, and y'all better understand, they did. And they're already starting to change this reality. They're just trying to see how it works. Now, here's the most obvious, which I remember as the day is long. And after this, I'm going to go upstairs and watch the movie. JFK, in his motorcade when he gets shot, I always remember clear detail as the day is long. 4 people in that car. Now, there are 6 people in that car. Try to find a picture with 4 people. It's all over the web. Wherever you look, 6 people. That's the reality. Now, it's called the Mandela effect because certain people remember Mandela dying in 1981. And you had a lady start a discussion, and some people like, no, he became the president of this. And other people like, no, he died in prison of tuberculosis. Detail. I remember the funeral. I remember concerts. People wearing his number, they said, from jail. And you know, his inmate number and all the rest of this shit. And you had people saying, yeah, they told me when I was a little kid that he died in jail. And then the other half saying no. Like I remember it, he became president. He got out of jail and became president. So then she said, this is just a party discussion. Let me turn this shit up online. And she did. And she found half motherfuckers, no, he died. And half motherfuckers, no, he was the president. A split in this reality. That's the first instance. That's why they call it the Mandela effect. Then more and more people started saying, well, do you remember this and do you remember that? Let me actually look at a Kit Kat. You know what I'm saying? Them fuckers ate on the Kit Kats. Right. Like, if you look at a Kit Kat here, let me see. Try to get that light right. If you look at a Kit Kat here, it has no dash. And grammatically, it should. And they said it had a dash. They said, is no change. They said Coca-Cola is now Coca-Cola Zero. I remember it to be Coke Zero. They said, no one is reporting any logo changes. They're saying, listen, here's another one. They said in the Bible, that Isaiah chapter, you remember it, even if you ain't into this shit. One day the lion will lay with the lamb. They said in every version of every Bible, it now says the wolf will lay with the lamb. They said, but every form of art, Christian statues, they have a lion and a lamb together. That makes the most sense. In every book, he said, a woman said, hell no. Went to her old 1940s Bible, turned to it, and that says, and the wolf shall lay with the lamb. Right now, check that out in whatever. Just look up what that is and look in. I know you niggas got a Bible. Stop fronting. And look it up. And it says, the wolf will lay with the lamb. And we all know that one. It was the lion shall lay with the lamb. That was the corniest shit ever. I got pictures in books where they show lions and lambs together. So they said the iconery or the Christian reaction to that was a bunch of pictures. And, you know, that's a big iconic Christian thing. They said that hasn't changed. There's all this work with the lion and the lamb. They said the Mona Lisa's picture has changed. That people remember other shit in it in the background, not a mountain. Then they said Mona Lisa, and I kind of remember, had a blank face. Now that bitch is smiling. Check this shit out. And she's looking in a different direction, they said. And I kind of remember that. I don't know, because this shit is fucking with parallel universes, and your memory is fighting what now they were able to magically do through their supercomputer, create the new reality. The same way I did it with my supercomputer. I was in the projects, in a room, humble, and then I said, I was in the tub, said, oh, I had enough of this shit. I've learned everything. I saved every goddamn book and everything. It's time to get back in the game. You know what I'm saying? And within months, I was on the phone with Khadijah. And within months after that, we were talking about making arrangements. You understand? And it leads to where we are now. Because I went to another parallel universe using my imagination, how I see myself. And then I magnetically pulled it back and made it reality. So our computer is slow going, but it's still a computer nonetheless. All of this technology is based upon us and our thought. They're using this outside, and listen, niggas, it's working. It's working. All you got to do is study this Mandela effect, and you will see they're doing the two things. Is the wolf laying with the lamb. That's something I absolutely remember, was the lion with the lamb. You don't even have to be Christian to remember that. Go look in any book. It'll say the wolf with the lamb, according to the Mandela effect. They changed that. They're doing little things to see how you accept this change before they do the big whoop-de-doo. They're saying who's accepting it. They're gonna Mandela to affect you to death, and you're gonna think it's stupid. When I heard it, I thought it was stupid. They only had a few examples. Oh, now they're up to 100, and shit is real. I remember 4 people being in that car, 6 people in that car now. So I'm gonna investigate it further. 2 things. I'm going to look at the JFK movie that Oliver Stone did, which I have, and I'm going to look deeper at film. They said I don't remember it in color. The shit is in color. So we're gonna. I don't know if it's a fake, because you know niggas gonna throw some fakes out there. So we can say, the Mandela effect is fake. They're faking it. Fuck it. And then they're gonna hit you with what they're really trying to pull here. Another thing, they say, as a New Yorker, I remember, but I don't kind of remember. Because you'll take the Staten Island ferry, it'll go past what I thought was Ellis Island, where the Statue of Liberty was. But now they're saying Ellis Island is next to Liberty Island. The Statue of Liberty is on Liberty Island, and Ellis Island is next to it. I don't know. I don't remember. I just thought that was Ellis Island, but that's something that may be a mistake. If I rode past it on the ferry, I would recognize. I don't remember seeing the second island that's sitting next to the Staten Island. I mean, to the Statue of Liberty. While going to Staten Island, I have family on Staten Island. I've been there quite some times. I'm trying to tell you, some New Yorkers may be able to confirm how that goes. So, your symbols, what I taught in class, how those work, are actually how you reach one of the parallel universes that you're trying to contact. Because you think of universes where you homeless, you think of that shit all the time. Where you sick, where your girl dies or your kid gets shot. then you put those thoughts out your mind. You know to put them out your mind and not to talk about them because subconsciously you know that's how you can pull that parallel universe into this reality. So you try to think happy thoughts, which you should, because you can pull those parallel thoughts in this reality. Most of us are doing it by accident. Yeah, I did think of that. Oh, shit. Yeah, panic. I'm doing magic. What you really need to understand is you need to aggressively understand that you're a programmer and that this is how you program this computer matrix that you're in now with what it is you want to survive comfortably until you're gone. You understand? Until you're gone. They talking about so much as they remembering motherfuckers who died, who said, they say, no, they're alive. You know what I'm saying? What's that nigga? TV evangelist. I don't remember these white names. He's saying, shit, Steve the science guy, they thought he died. He's saying, no, that motherfucker's still alive. Mr. Rogers, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. They say, now he says it's a beautiful day around the neighborhood or something. It's a different word. But I remember it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's no longer that. Mandela effect. Study all. Now, you're going to hear a lot of Christians do the Mandela effect. See, God is this and God is that. Don't fuck all of that. Don't get turned off by that. Just listen to what they're revealing and compile this information with your understanding. These motherfuckers are playing with this shit. Because they're telling you they know how to fuck with parallel universes. Then all of a sudden, this Mandela effect is coming on. Everyone's blaming it on the collider. But I don't think it's the collider. I think it's this motherfucking quantum computer D-Wave. See, while we're looking at the collider and they got this, why would they put this picture, this statue of Shiva in the front to blatantly throw it in your face? So you're sitting around, and then Apollo, the destroyer of worlds or whatever, that's where it's actually located on physically, where this was between France and Switzerland. So they have all of this set up where people are decoding all this shit, giving Collider all of this credit for the Mandela effect, which is to throw you off the D-Wave computer. Whereas they're saying, we don't understand this quantum wave and particle change. It's baffling. We have theories. No, they figured out how to connect everything. That nigga said the D-Wave mapped the universe in 5-something minutes. So that means they connected everything. The string theory is not a theory. They found what the strings are waves actually. And we knew that to be the waters of noon. We knew what it was. We knew how to travel through the waters of noon, to navigate through the waters of noon. That's what we're doing when we do this magic. I learned how to navigate through the waters of noon, through this absolute meditation. You technically don't need gods. The gods are how you define energy. But in the end, the mind is all. And the universe is mental. To master the universe, you must master the mind, nigga. You the programmer. Stop sitting around here worried about this white man, what you gonna do with him. Cut it out. You the programmer, and it's up to you. You understand? We've been done figure this one out. Your mind is the supercomputer. They can't do it. They have to make one. They did. And they fucking with shit right now. So don't think they're going to stop at Kit Kats, nigga. They seeing the reverberation of this, and all they're doing is what we knew how to do. Bring whatever parallel universe we chose into our conscious reality so we can become the observer of that. That's how you play the GTS, the Grand Theft Auto, the GTA game, my niggas. You are the controller. You roll. You shoot and take what you want to take. It's not real. It's not real. We understood morality and humanity was not real. So it didn't mean we went and just did shit that created imbalances. Because it creates imbalances in your strings or your waters of noon. Is what you pull. So we was good to each other, but it had nothing to do with an invented morality. You can describe it as that later on if you choose. But that ain't it. That wasn't what it was for. It was not to interfere. Everything's a wave pattern. You don't want to mix and mess with something. So now it makes sense. How could I do magic and fuck somebody up? If I could see them in a parallel universe fucked up and know how to pull it here, guess what, nigga? The same way they could change Kit Kat, nigga, I could change your reality. I am a supercomputer. Tried to teach you. I hope you classmates got it. Your subconscious mind is a quantum supercomputer that knows how to reach out through symbols and pull back whatever desired reality you choose. Most of y'all are choosing some fucked up shit because you have a universal, uniform way of thinking that's inspired by white people. Listen closely. Your observation makes this material world the material world that you know. Just by observing it, remember? So if something you wanted to do magically and you keep looking at it, observing it, talking about it, then it is not going to work. You are observing it, therefore you keep it in particle form. For it to work in the quantum world where the magic happens, it needs to be in waveforms, meaning you must stop observing it. See, most people that's why I don't show my altars. I don't want nobody to observe it and think about it. Oh, no. I have a different view on that. These things are all around my house in all places. When me and Khadijah go by it, we no longer even notice it's there. And we're not supposed to. It's almost like furniture. We know the intention we put every single piece of shit up. If we had to observe it and say this is what this is, but then it goes right back into the background, which means what it's there for is no longer being observed. Therefore, it's doing its work because those waves are on the waters of noon, pulling the reality that it's supposed to pull. It is an energy. It's not a fucking God that you pray to. Oh, Ogun, thank you for another day with your old metal ass. That's so stupid. It's so childish. Grow the fuck up. It is trying to tell you about an energy. And if you understand that energy and stop trying to be a fucking priest all the goddamn time so you can tell other niggas how fucking good you are and just understand the fucking energy and get with it, what you're doing is able to magnetize that power for yourself, dummy. Stop worshiping. Oh, Shun. These bitches used to email me. Oh, Shun. She allowed me to brush her hair last night. You fucking slave ghoul. What the fuck? That's you pulling that reality. You're programming yourself, and really what you're revealing is how little you think of yourself. How little you think of yourself. You bitches don't even want to brush your daughter's hair half the fucking time. But Oshun allowed me to brush her hair. Grow the fuck up. Know what I'm saying? My queen, goddess, beloved, namaste. If that makes you feel better. Because I know how much you like to feel good about what we call you. Even though niggas done define bitch as one of the most divine words you can be called. It's the female Anubis. Get with it. Sacred whores, where you at? Sacred whores, where you at? No, you are Oshun. You are the Palos. All of these gods and deities down here are not greater than what your mind is. Nigga, know thyself, playboy. Stop trying to be down with something. I want to be down. What do I got to do? What dress I got to wear, nigga? Fuck out of here. Stop it. Stop it. Cut that bullshit out. Nigga, these are nothing but energies around the house that are now invisible yet visible. When we observe, we observe. Most of the time, we're not observing. These terracotta warriors that I'm observing have been here, and all I have to know is their intention is to protect. And then when I'm watching TV in bed, that intention holds true, and I'm not observing it. That means it resonates in the quantum world as protection. I don't have to worship him. I don't have to do nothing. What you give or sacrifice is an energy transference. So what you give, you get back. That's why you give them stuff. Not because they demand it. Allah demands it. Nigga, they are ideas and descriptions that you use to do exactly the science that I've been laying on your monkey ass all day in this goddamn video. I'm telling you the science of why we use these personalities. They're ways to access quantum realities, because all you're doing is picking and choosing different things you want to happen or not to happen. You're pushing and pulling through magnetism. You're using these energy streams as methods to get there. You talk to them the way you do because you have to give them personality. Here's a thing I teach in class for you foolish mules who don't get it. Your mentality as a kid was to take, as a woman or girl, take your doll babies. Now, let me put on my glasses so you niggas really see this shit is real. To take your doll babies and talk to them. Take them to bed. Take them with you in the car or whatever. But in your mind, the doll baby was real or alive. She was real. She drank tea with you. You changed her. You changed her fake diaper. You combed her hair. She was real. So to guys, we had these action figures. For us, superheroes, Star Wars figures, Battlestar Galactica figures. Sure love to have that Starbuck. You know what I'm saying? We was notorious for taking action figures in the tub. You know what I'm saying? Mommy, can I take Luke in the tub? Hey, son, that's quite gay. I don't care, mommy. Luke Skywalker, he comes in. You playing around with your penis. Luke. Gay. But in your mind, and for you later day niggas, Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, and all the rest of that crap that I used to just sit my nephew in front of the TV, then go do some other shit, and he watched. Those action figures, when you had them, you believed them to be real. You know, my nephew was a deep reader, Goosebumps and Harry Potter. The shit was real to him. So you had this natural ability. Not to mention, we didn't even get into the obvious. Those of you who had invisible friends. Friends that slept under your bed to protect you. All that is a deity. You just ain't calling it Apollo, and you ain't scared of it to wear a fucking t-shirt. See, this is my Tiger Balm. I taught niggas, you take Tiger Balm, this is what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? In the stove. Get it? The white one is the ultra, nigga. You put that Tiger Balm right between your third eye. Watch the motherfucking show. Meditate. Now, this Tiger Balm is called Hot Day. This is my nigga Hot Day. I fucks with Hot Day. Hot Day, what? Okay. We gonna do it, nigga. Just let me let these niggas know Hots. This is my nigga Hots. I know how to use my imagination to invoke life into all of this. And all I did was repeat what I did as a child. And that's all you have to do. You make your crystals, your candles, your altars, anything you put on your altars, alive. Just like you did with your doll babies, just like you did with your action figures. That's it. That's the trick. You do that, what you're doing is taking your consciousness and putting it and deifying an inanimate object. That's how you deify shit, nigga. That's how you give it life. Even when you going, it has realities now. Your doll. You put all your emotion into it. When you lost it, I can't find my car. There it is. Us without cars, our trucks, we made all that shit alive. Sorry, hot. We made all of that shit alive. You understand what I'm saying? If you understand the concept of what you're doing, it is not as deep and as I'm a priest of and I need to do that. It is simple science. It is simply working with the way your own mind naturally works. What I'm telling you is not something you have to get weird and intellectual about. It's what you do. This is your magic. It is your birthright. No one has to initiate you into your birthright. You understand what I'm saying? If you were in a culture and you had to deal with rules, you must be initiated. You must go through a rites of passage because you are socially going through what needs to be done to get you to be a social functioning being in a culture. You fucking morons. You don't need to do that right now. You're not in a functioning culture. You're trying to mimic an African culture in America, and that's why that shit is always folding in on itself. That's why these niggas is always arguing. There's always someone leaving. Thousands of niggas have come to me from out of that shit and just for the freedom, because I don't offer you a new religion. I tell you, you are the God. Everything revolves around your consciousness. Your ego has nothing to do with this. That which what you are is what you must come to know. Not what you want to be or what you think you are. From an ego perspective, that which is not non-negotiable is what we deal with here. That which you cannot separate, break, or deny is what I do. You understand? Self-realization ain't got nothing to do with no religion, no way to be, no fucking argument, or no philosophy. Fuck you. Go ahead and initiate yourself if that's what you must do. There's no argument here. I talk to those who hear the frequency. You can't hear me? Fuck you, nigga. I don't need no thumbs down. Panic. I seen nigga. Panic don't put up comments on his YouTube. Cause you a fucking dumb asshole, and I don't feel like deciphering through the fucking crap you saying as if it means something on a fucking post that you don't even have to fucking listen to. You fucking moronic assholes. I'm glad I get to vent on these monkeys. Cause I'll see some monkeys say some monkey ass shit, and I'm like, the mere fact that you spend your time to even say anything on YouTube explains the level of loser you fucking are. It's a worthless act of your ego. If what is not for you, do not be involved in it. Turn it off. Pay it no mind. Pay me absolutely no mind. But also when you walk away, look at the 20,000 other motherfuckers that's saying something in this matters. So you need to respect it for what it is and leave it alone. And then you look at the 200 and 300 motherfuckers that are fucking with you, and the only reason it's that many is because you put my name in the fucking title. And that's a reality. That's a reality. Ain't nobody thinking about none of this goddamn crap. It is low-level, updated religion that you believe is some old-timey shit. It's a religious mentality and a motif that if you are there with it, you are missing the point. They ain't worshiping shit. They're changing reality with quantum computers called D-Wave, which we've been calling magic. So all that magic that you think you are learning and initiating into, they ain't saying that. They're saying we are preparing to change everything you think you know. What's the good news? What's the good news? The good news is you are also a quantum computer. And we need to collectively start focusing on a reality that gets them going. See, what we think is to get them going, we have to focus on them. Because remember, if you focus on them, what are you doing? You're observing them. And to observe them is to particleize it and keep them here. What you have to do is stop worrying about them. Worry about nothing but you. See in your meditations, you close your eyes, use this, goddammit, hot day. Put this on. Don't even worry about you meditating wrong. Just see what you want. Play a scenario in your mind like a movie. The movies I play, I do business with black people because there's nobody else to do it with. That's the reality I know. That's the reality that I'm pulling. I do business with black people. I see black people in power. I see black people running the world. I see you running the world. I see the world is yours. I see our mastery of the world and us understanding it and choosing to come here and choosing to get off. There's no one sentence to this. Our true understanding is back. Our pyramid building. So how do you build a pyramid? If we just collectively got together with the same thought, we can all change and pull down this reality. And it will just appear. Just like this island appeared and two more motherfuckers appeared in the dash, this fucking appeared. It's just there one day, then it's not. Without an understanding of how this happened, oh, that's magic. But no, they got the science on how it's happened. We just pulled a parallel reality here. But that is what magic is. That is what we're doing. So how do we build pyramids? I'm sure we just visualize it. And I remember saying that. It was just too big for me to just claim it. I was just doing meditations or whatever I was doing. And I told Bobby, I said, Bobby, we visualize this shit and bring it here. At the time, Bobby was building this. He was obsessed with building this Egyptian city in his house. He was getting all the Egyptian statues and pyramids and all that, and building up the city. He was going crazy doing it. And then the shit came. I said, your subconscious mind doesn't understand what we call real, fake, a bunch of statues that you put in your house. So Bobby, in his mind, was building a city. His subconscious mind understands that and created that reality. So somewhere in the universe, this city is able to be pulled into someone's reality. We were able to pull an ancient city into our reality the same way. They'll say, well, the Sphinx is older than the pyramids. What gives? Because we were able to pull these things down. We were able to put them on Mars. If we were or were not physically there, we still did the same thing. Build pyramids on the moon and all the rest of this shit. We were able to do it with our mind. Now listen. So since the subconscious doesn't understand, let me tell you, Bobby sent me another tape about Angkor Watts. And I can't remember the dude, but there's a dude, when they checked out Angkor Watts, he said, I came back. He said, I'm a something of Shiva, something under Shiva. He said, I came back to explain this shit to you. They said, well, okay, how did they build these? He said, it is built upon the stables in heaven. This is heaven. He's basically saying niggas just thought this shit up and was able to pull us down from their memories through meditation. And the same, how we're calling the Mandela effect. Kit Kat was this way, this was that way. Like I said, there's 100 examples they have now. It was this and that was this way. It used to be this way, and that city was there. That's what I was getting. This is a channel. I don't know if that's true, but it's starting to make more and more sense because it's coming back. I remember getting that you're actually building a city. Even though in this reality, you just put it all together. So in another reality, somebody just put them pyramids together. Or all of these ancient cities, we were able to build with our minds. Just be able to make them materialize here. You get what I'm saying? Because we understood how to navigate these waters. Now we're doing petty shit like trying to, okay, I think I got the gas bill paid. Okay, they ain't gonna turn the lights off. So what I really understood then, and I'm starting to make sense now, we were able to pull these things with our mind. The first quantum computers, or the true quantum computers down here. We understood it. We still understand it. That's why we're doing what we're doing. It's there. I'm telling you, I'm breaking this code right now. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to understand. This works because any reality you want can happen. South Carolina was the last lecture. We're going to do October 21st, Los Angeles. So y'all niggas need to get your asses to Los Angeles, October 21st. If you need the information, just email. I got a flyer I'll give you. Come to the radio show every Tuesday night on Talk Shoe Radio. When you get to Talk Shoe Radio, TalkShoe.com, every Tuesday night, most Tuesday nights, and they're going to ask you for a code. The code is 140203. That information is on my website, occultlectures.com. Occultlectures.com is spelled the same way this YouTube video, where would it be on this side? This YouTube video, if you look to the side, no, the other side, if you look to the side, you'll see Occult Lectures. The website is the same, occultlectures.com. You'll find all my products, all my classes. I have 2 classes now. Classes on straight how to speak to spirits. We got a little bit of room, so you want to do that now. We got what we got? Herb packs. We got oils, CDs, spiritual baths, a little gambit. I got this new shit called rose water. Motherfucking incredible. Panic's turned up rose water. Nigga, I've got the nutrients, the roses, the tinctures, the soaking, the oils come under this shit that you put on your heart to attract anything. Money, people, control people, make people have a more loving attitude towards you. It pulls out what's in people's personality that says, you the man, you the man. This is guaranteed results. Already smashed. I brought 30 of them motherfuckers to the South Carolina lectures. All I did was spray it. Sold every one of them motherfuckers just off the scent alone. And then when it wore down, they said, oh, you didn't hear? And that's what I've been smelling. Motherfucker. Give me that. And is that serious? I mean, motherfuckers been telling me stories right now. It's been going for a month and a half. Niggas been going crazy. That turned to rose oil. You want that in your life. Now, I was out of herbs. Called the herb pack people. When are y'all going to deliver that package? Said Friday by end of the day. Now, we supposed to be leaving Friday midday pretty much. Fuck. Going to a lecture without any herbs is like going to an orgy without any dick. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like leaving your dick home and going, oh, shit, man, this orgy's popping. Well, get in it, nigga. Fuck, I left my dick home. You know what I'm saying? I can't do shit. All I can do is sniff around. And so this is depressing. I visualize hard. I need this motherfucking truck to show up. We waiting to the last moment. We all in the truck, putting on seatbelts, ready to go. UPS guy drives up. Shit. As soon as I got up, I said, we're going to do this shit. Got out, picked the box up. There was a butterfly flying real low next to my tree in the front, my fairy tree. So I knew them fairies looked out because that's, in fact, when they leave the boxes, they leave it in them bushes. That's where the fairies are. So I know the fairies looked out. You know what I'm saying? Woo, nigga. Line around the corner, herb pack, because niggas don't want to wait. You know what I'm saying? Herb pack. So it was like shit, going to an orgy and not only bringing your dick, having the biggest dick in the orgy. You know what I'm saying? And so through visualization, through pulling that reality here. You understand what I'm saying? Pulling that reality here. If you have multiple realities, I didn't get something. Now I totally get it. And I thought I had it. I used to say, like, well, Bobby, I'm doing an Avatar breakdown. I'm going to break down the movie Avatar. Well, man, shit. They always send the white man in to kind of teach us what we already fucking know. And they're the goddamn savior. Yeah, I said, I'm going to kill this shit. Couple of days, weeks, maybe days later. Yeah, man, I did that shit with the Avatar, tore that shit up. You know something, man? What we need is the aberrant man to come in to change what is considered to be normalcy. Because if you leave it to niggas, nothing will change. So the white man represents the agitator that changes what would be considered, what would go on forever. You see. Like, motherfucker, that's a nigga. What? Nigga, you just pick anything and go with it. Then, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna get some Chinese food. Oh man, they was arguing while he was cooking. You know what I'm saying? He said, oh man, see, that you don't eat that because there's a certain type of energy, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be wise when you choose the people who pick and make your food because that energy goes in the food, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, yeah, I ain't fuck with it. Then, oh man, Bobby, man, I ate this food, you know what I'm saying? Shit had me throwing up. And these motherfuckers was arguing over this goddamn food. You see, man, well, that's good. See, cause what happened here is you were supposed to clean out. And see, you have an 8th chakra that opens up in the throat that you could vomit at will because it's clearing out some of the humanity. So the transformation is happening. So, yeah, that's good. You were supposed to eat that. Motherfucker. And then even in conversations is one thing one day and the other thing. I said, oh, what I first thought was, he's never wrong. He's just making himself right in every situation. What is the checks and balances of this? Really nothing. It's really your thirst or lust or your training to say, this is reality, this is real, and this is the line. And if you cross that line, either way, you either pick left or right, you're with it or you're not with it. The white man is good or the white man's bad. You either pick it and that's reality. This is the reality line. What Bobby is pretty much saying is, motherfucker, this line isn't real. There is no reality. Why don't you make every single event that happens in your favor? Therefore, every event that will happen will be in your favor because you are programming yourself to be right every time. Woo, Bobby Hemmett. Now I was on it. He showed me through his actions how to break down reality. You understand? How to break down reality. He uses absolutely, positively no logic. Because logic comes from the observable, which is non-changing. You can't change this thing this way. You have to change it from the realm of the quantum, which is nothing to do with intellect, reason, or logic. That is low-level particle thinking. Let's just call it that. But it's material matrix thinking, how to reason and balance. Even the entire white man shit is through, he's creating spirituality through logic, reason, and balance. He's not just able to do it like you. Because you are that being, my nigga. So, let's see. Like I said, I want to reiterate the mentality that your shit works. You cannot question if I'm doing it right, what book could I read to get it better than this? Panic, is that right? Or panic, how do you do this? What does that mean? Go with whatever the fuck you want. That's how it works. Run with it, my nigga. If you feel apes of this, fucking run with it. If you feel monkeys can do cartwheels in water, don't ask me to confirm that shit. Run with it. Make it your fucking, put it on a flag and wave that shit. Because it's you who are creating all of these realities exist. That's why I could break down a movie. Somebody could break down a whole nother movie and somebody be like, Panic was incredible. And some people like, Panic ain't talking about shit. Then somebody be like, that nigga was incredible. What I'm looking at, that was some fucking real retarded shit. But you got a lot of likes. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? Well, because some people vibrate with this based upon the parallel, the realities that they pull down. It synchronizes with what they call their master observation here. You understand? You have to observe, and you could be the observer of whatever you want. You first have to magnetize it here. That's the meditation. You're going to have to close your eyes and put your thoughts on that path. You're going to have to open up that wormhole to pull that parallel reality here. So the collider may be opening up wormholes so that D wave computer can pull down different realities, parallel universes. And they playing with us. They doing little shit like changing Kit Kat, McDonald's logos, Ford logos. Do you see all the shit they do? And some of it you may remember, fucking around with Captain Crunch and shit like that. Some of it like, who really looked at Captain Crunch? Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Now they're getting bolder because there's shit that motherfucking, the lion lays with the lamb. Now it's the wolf lays with the lamb. Now, I didn't look in any books to confirm it, but they're saying, look, you look in any book. A chick, like I said, opened her book from the 40s. Her Bible from the 40s said, hell no. And that shit in her Bible from the 40s said, the wolf lays with the lamb. So if they can do that, and let's assume they're successful and this is really happening, then we can make pyramids this way. You understand? Yes, we can. Oh, yes, we can. Let's see if there's anything from this. So you want to visualize, know it works. Now, I'll tell people this, you know what I'm saying, so they can really get it, that there's a law, the law of cause and effect. For every cause, there's an effect. For every effect, there's a cause. Causality is just the law not recognized. What they're saying is coincidence doesn't exist. It's all synchronicity. So did you synchronize it? If you synchronize it, it will manifest as what you have been calling a coincidence all your life. But technically it's not. Technically is proof of whatever you're doing is working. And if we move back a little bit, for every cause there's an effect, for every effect there's a cause. Every time you make a thought or close your eyes to meditate with an intention, that's a cause. And it must have what? It must have what? It must have what? An effect, bitch. An effect, nigga. So you cannot do any form of magic without a reaction, without an effect. For every cause, there's an effect. For every effect, there's a cause. So you cannot do anything and nothing happen. You just don't understand the effect. You don't understand the effect because you try to rationalize, intellectualize, looking to make it stick on a reality timeline that you got going straight through, that you don't know how to break. You understand? You don't know how to say but you also know how to say in theory, this isn't real, it's the Matrix, it's Maya. It's not really happening. I'm not really here. Now to say all of that, but then you look for things to be real in something you already defined as fake. No tap, beloved, no tap. Listen, I'm not going to ever say namaste to you niggas. I'm going to have to say humaste. Because you niggas are some humans. I see the human in you. You know what I'm saying? You can tell me namaste because I'm sure you see the God in me. If I see the God in you, I'm saying namaste. If I see a regular motherfucker, humaste. I'm going to start saying humaste. So y'all know what, now y'all know. So y'all say some human shit, my answer to you is going to be humaste. Stay your ass human. Stay your ass human. Humaste, nigga. Humaste. That's my new shit, humaste. Magic is like bad pussy. If you get some bad pussy, you forget all about it. You know what I'm saying? That's the trick. Look at magic as bad pussy. You do it and say, oh, that was some terrible pussy. What was that bitch name again? Some bad dick. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this nigga here. Why is he saying, oh, yo, yeah, you like that? You like that? No, I do not, nigga. It's bad dick. I might have to forget all about this nigga's number. You hit it and you forget it. You give it to the invisible. You have to start seeing and understanding we need to now do work. Because the reality is they are fucking with the concepts of magic now. This is the only thing that raised my eyebrow. All of that chemtrails, and you never heard me talk about nothing they doing that gives me any pause. This shit, I don't even watch YouTube like that, but I was fucking obsessing watching all of these AI videos, flat earth videos, Mandela effect videos, and then it went to this fucking supercomputer. This quantum computer shit. And I was like, what the fuck? I put it all together in my class today. I still was just looking at it as a separate thing. And then I started, as I'm talking in class, I'm starting to see, wait a minute, I'm describing a fucking supercomputer. I've always been describing how to release your thoughts on these interfering waves. Which is the subconscious apparatus. That's the magic. That's the hidden. That's the darkness they're talking about. You got to give it to the darkness. And it's like you deify these things, so you're calling them certain gods. And those gods are nothing but energy pathways. Ogun brings back a certain reality. Oshun brings back a certain reality. Lakshmi, Vishnu, Shiva, Shakti. You understand? In the fucking, I can go through it for days. Fuck all of these niggas that's just in Africa shit. Just the Japanese motherfuckers are fascinating. The kitchen guard. Look up the kitchen guard and the kitchen guard's wife. Ooh-wee. Y'all don't even know what that is. I could make you I would put that nigga on the shirt before I actually put the fucking Palos on, but y'all don't fucking even know what it is to get it. I would have to explain it for a month before you even find it something you should be wearing. But look up the kitchen guard, my niggas. How to get him to talk sweet about you or fucked up about you. How the emperor used to channel the kitchen guard and find out about what was going on in everybody's house. He knew about his entire kingdom through a deity called the kitchen guard. But we was badass, nigga. He would be in your kitchen for a whole year. You had to burn his ass and set him up again. You had to put honey on his lips so he talked sweet to the emperor about you. Then they talk about the kitchen guard's wife. Or let's even talk about the knockers. The knockers who are minors. They're talking about melanin. It's old Celtic gods, the knockers. Look them up. The knockers. Melanin, my nigga. And let's say, and this is another thing I want to bring up. What we call melanin may be nanobites. Nanobites do what melanin does. Maybe melanin is the nanobites that we were programmed with from that creator deity who made this bullshit place you reside in. No tep. Humaniste. Human stay. Humanist stay. Your magic, your visualization is the key. You better undo what they're doing. You better start to see and take back this world with your mind. That's probably the most dangerous thing I've said that actually went to war with them. I'm telling you niggas, especially everyone, this is a call to everyone who took my class and everyone who could hear the frequency. It's time to meditate on taking your planet back. That does not including any white person, because to observe them is to keep them here. The way to do it is not yell in the streets. So they love when you yell Black Lives Matter, because that's observing them. Because that's who else you telling that to. You ain't telling that to other black people who you need to be telling it to. Because them niggas is killing niggas like motherfucking. Dropping French fries at McDonald's ain't nothing, player. Drop some fries. We need fries. Drop them again. They dropping niggas like they dropping fries in McDonald's, player. So you need to tell other blacks Black Lives Matter, really. But no, you out there yelling it to whites, which is another way of saying they exist. You call them the devil. Even though that's played out, though. But do you know that 1% is saying, oh, thank you. Thank you for giving us an ancient history, because we had none. Now they can make a parallel universe where they have an ancient history. No tell. What do you think they're going to do with them fucking machines? Cure cancer? They know you can do that shit right now. What you think they're going to do with the machines? They're going to do all the shit that they can do spiritually to your ass. They need to wipe you out of this reality. That'll actually be doing us a favor. Maybe this is the ticket we've been looking for here. Maybe this is our way off of this motherfucker. Who knows? But let's just see. But no, I don't think they're going to do that. They're going to play this game. If all that camps they talking about, they can make a reality like that. That's why you better start seeing yourself as free. Don't let fear enter you. This cannot be done with fear. You should be in deep happiness when you do this. The smile should be ear to ear as what you are seeing you are and everybody around you are. Thriving, masters, flying, owning. This planet is yours. You're the programmer. You let the programs get out of control. Time to clean up the viruses. You got to do it with your mind. You understand? It ain't going to happen no other way. So I need you to study artificial intelligence, the Mandela effect, and do a search for the D-Wave computer. You will find all the information you need, and you can look up the collider, see what they're doing. All of those information is usually considered separate, except for the collider and the Mandela effect. Now put them all together, and you'll see what they're actually working on, what they're actually doing, what they're actually formulating. And it's nothing but logical ways or logical means to accomplish magical reality. Don't let that happen. Not without doing anything. You understand what I'm saying? Not just sitting there and talking about I'm deep and I took Panic's class and I'm magical because I listen to Phil Valentine lectures. That ain't enough. Close your eyes and get to work. I'm calling everybody who's in my class. I expect it from you now. Close your eyes and get the fuck to work. Do that search, see what they're doing. You'll find even more than me, I'm sure. Because just by me telling people in my class today, motherfuckers was already emailing me, yo. Because you don't know what to look for. Gave them something to look for. I hope I gave you something to look for. You know what I'm saying? See what them niggas is really working on. That motherfucking D-Wave computer. D-Wave? When you hear about what that motherfucker's doing, you're going to be like, these son of a bitches. Search that Mandela effect. Look for 100 things, 100 Mandela effect proofs, something like that. There's so many videos on it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got one. You don't want to just decipher through some bullshit and get turned off. Let me get down to all the Mandela effects. Whoa, it's a lot. They'll show you where James Earl Jones is on talk shows saying, Luke, I am your father, because he's repeating the line. But now it says, no, I am your father. Oh. All right. So like I promised, it's going to be a short one. 205, nigga. 205. So, humor stay. No tep be unto you. I'll be back. I'm going to put up some videos from the radio show, October 21st. I'm going to be in Las Vegas and going to be in New York in November, niggas. We either talking the 12th or the 19th. So far, it's looking like the 19th. Brother Rich is bringing me in. So there's going to be a flyer. There's going to be all the information you need to get to this lecture that's going to be in Brooklyn. It's going to be kick-assery. Kick-assery. My New York niggas. It's time to come home. D-Wave. All right, motherfuckers. Humor stay. Stop this shit.